You don't know what you have till it's gone. I'm actually starting to have a little bit of that now with Kirk Cousins. And this entire time I've been sad because I love rooting for Kirk. I have Kirk Cousins t-shirts. I have no other player where I have a Kirko Chains t-shirt. Nothing similar to that. Kirk Cousins just became someone that I loved rooting for as a person and a player with the Vikings. And the other day when I saw the deep ball he had down the right sideline to Kyle Pitts, Ziggy, I know you're not a huge. You said it got overhyped.
It was a nice throw from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it went viral. But again, I just saw that throw and I thought to myself, "Damn, Kirk, like Kirk can really sling it." And I started thinking about just how great he's been over the past 2 seasons. And now that we step into this uncertain future in Minnesota, I'm looking at Atlanta, and all reports indicate that Kirk is ready to go. It's pretty amazing, given that he tore his Achilles. He ruptured his Achilles 7 months ago. And he's saying if the Super Bowl were today, he'd be ready to play. All the reports out of Atlanta are that this guy's, exactly what they signed up for. A great leader, hard worker. The accuracy's still there. The brain is there. Like Kirk Cousins is giving Atlanta what they signed up for. And I just want to go into this a little bit, guys, because I don't think people realize that behind the goofiness of Kirk Cousins, there is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL that the Falcons acquired. In 2022, the Vikings were 13-4 with the 31st ranked defense in yards per game and the 30th defense in points per game. So listen to the points per game standing. 32nd were the Bears. They wound up with the number 1 overall pick. 31st, the Cardinals, number 3 overall. 29th, the Colts, 4th overall pick. 28th was Detroit. Drastically improved second half of the year defense. They came on at the end. They were 1-8 at one point. 27th defense in the league, 2022. The Texans, 2nd overall pick. 26th, the Raiders, 7th overall. 25th, the Seahawks, 5th overall. So you see what I'm going on this long rant here. Every defense that sucked had a top 5 or, close to top 5 pick, except the Vikings, who were 13-4, the number 3 seed, and went to the playoffs. That defense gave Daniel Jones his contract. That defense was horrendous, and Kirk Cousins carried them to a playoff win. And right before he got hurt, last season, they beat San Francisco, and then they went into Green Bay and beat the precious Packers and Jordan Love on their home field. Like, I don't care what people say about Kirk Cousins. Look at the numbers right now. He hid critical flaws in this Vikings team for 2 straight seasons. And, he took an average roster and turned them into a playoff team, a Super Bowl contender in some people's eyes at one point. So I personally think Atlanta has a stud.
Well, how much better is Atlanta's D than the Vikings D? Like, is it that much better?
The Atlanta defense was borderline top 5 last year. I mean, I don't think it's quite that good.
Really?
No, not top 5.
By the numbers, Atlanta had a very, very good. Now, as I said, I don't think they're as good as that. No, seriously.
I mean, what I was
you got to find those numbers right now, my friend, because I'm not even close to buying top. They didn't have a sack, right?
Well, what I was going to say was this: let's say it was the other way around, where Cousins was taking the Falcons to the playoffs, but not winning. And it's like, oh, now Cousins goes to Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and all these guys. Wouldn't it be the same sort of hype about that?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just a carbon copy situation.
You think the Vikings are the Falcons?
I think it's going from average team to a little bit better, maybe.
Oh, no. I actually think the Vikings are a better team.
Yeah, average team to average team.
No, but what I'm saying is that Kirk Cousins is able to take an average team and make them a contender.
I think Kirk Cousins is the Falcons are probably my number 4 seed in the playoffs.
No, and I'm saying that means something. Where people are having the reaction of, oh, will Kirk recover? Like, this guy is a star. He's a Coles guy who's a nerd. But at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is a star in the National Football League. And that's why I think if I'm an Atlanta fan, we like the Buccaneers on this podcast. We think they're a good team heading into next season, but Kirk Cousins is clearly the best quarterback in the NFC South next year. I don't even think it's close.
The Falcons should be positioned to play in the divisional round.
Exactly. And or at the very least, they should be hosting a playoff game.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
And when you go down their schedule, it is not a tough schedule in Atlanta this year. If they can steal a couple games that people think they're going to lose, this can easily be an 11 or 12 win team, possibly. I mean, Kirk Cousins, that's the Kirk Cousins effect, is that now if they're the 3 seed or something like that, like Atlanta has a shot. And if you're hosting playoff games, you never know.
Well, you got 2 automatic wins against the Panthers, probably 2 against the Saints, split with the Bucs. That's 5 right there. You just need 5 more. You're probably a playoff team.
And you can't underrate the fact that Kirk Cousins, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, is Zach Robinson. he's another one of those Sean McVay disciples, exactly like Kevin O'Connell. So if you're talking about his ability to step in and elevate the offense right away, and I trust that Raheem Morris is going to take a defense that over the second half of last season was about 10 in DVOA and make it even better. This is what people forget. The Falcons defense sucked at the beginning, but by the end of the season, Jesse Bates, David Onyemata, like there were a lot of good players producing hardcore. I really think this Falcons team, everyone's saying they're a shoe in the playoffs just because they're in a weak division, and I think that's true, but it could get a lot better pretty quickly.
Here's the end of the season for the Falcons right now. The Saints. So I'm not sure. This is the final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 game. Here, listen to the schedule. This is pretty. Host the Saints, host the Bucks, at the Panthers, host the Seahawks, at the Bucks, host the Cowboys, tough game, at the Saints, tough game, at Denver, host Chargers, at the Vikings, at the Raiders, host the Giants, at the Commanders, host the Panthers. I mean,
I know probably a favorite.
No, but based on Vegas forecasted win totals, the Falcons have the easiest schedule by a country mile.
So yeah, you're talking about a team that's improved drastically at the most important position of all in sports, combined with an easy schedule and a terrible division. It's on in Atlanta.
But now a good quarterback too.
Yeah, as long as Kirk stays healthy, which all indications are from his career that he really should be. Of course, he's never come off an Achilles injury before, but
I mean, O-line's got a big job because he can't move.
Yeah, no, he can't. But he's never been able to move.
No,
he's never been.
That's what the O-line.
Now he really can.
The O-line's important.
Now he can, but it's a great offensive line in Atlanta, and we'll see. We'll see what guys like Kyle Pitts and Drake London can do. This is their opportunity, and if they don't produce with Kirk Cousins, they're like I don't expect them to produce at all in their careers. So we'll see what happens. But I'm just watching these videos of Kirk in practice, going, man, this guy. I miss this guy. I really do.